Hi, in today's video, we'll talk about different selling models deployed by marketplaces. So marketplaces have various models like vendor flex, seller flex, Alphalite models, so on and so forth. In this video, we will talk about Alphalite model. In Flipkart's Alphalite model, essentially the goods are billed to Flipkart by the brand. So it's almost like an outright purchase that is happening between Flipkart or another entity that Flipkart and brands decides. And the ownership of goods moves from the brand to Flipkart in a way. However, the warehousing operations are run by brand themselves or through a 3PL company or supply chain company like Prozo, which is selected by the brand. So the goods are moved either within the same warehouse to another section of the warehouse, which is designated as a Alphalite section, or sometimes a brand creates a standalone warehousing facility for larger Alphalite operations, and they move these build stocks to this newer location in a way. So it helps the brand to save on the logistics cost because brand doesn't really have to move those stocks to a very far off location. Second element is brand has real-time visibility into operations and it helps the brand from a replenishment perspective, even though goods have already been billed to the Flipkart on an outright basis. And the third very interesting part of this process is, or rather this model, is that the operations are quite seamless because the inventory is already bought by Flipkart in a way. The tech stack that is used is of Flipkart tech stack, which is also quite seamless. So relatively simpler operations, right? But the partner who is running these operations needs to have a deep know-how of that particular platform. So if it's about Flipkart Alphalite, the partner needs to understand the order SLAs really well. You know, the return process, the QC process, the seller protection fund claims process, which we call SPF claim process, and all of those marketplace related processes. However, compared to a larger multi-channel fulfillment model, Flipkart Alphalite model is much more simpler model for any brand to deploy, and it gives the due benefits to Flipkart in terms of having access to a dedicated inventory pool and keeping the inventory very close to the brand so that the brand can replenish faster. At the same point in time, it works beautifully for the brand because brand now can replenish this inventory faster and brand has visibility into the operations. Flipkart also doesn't have to worry about inventory accuracy and various other aspects related to inventory shrinkage because essentially brand is running the warehousing operations for Flipkart. And in many cases, it's the brand that takes care of the logistics cost, or not really the logistics, rather the warehousing cost of running Alphalite operations. So it becomes a brand's responsibility to ensure that the goods are safe and secure in that premises. At the same point in time, Flipkart leverages on that inventory pool, gives their customers a delightful service in the form of Flipkart Plus or Flipkart Assured badges and fast fulfillment services from that particular warehouse. So that's about Alphalite. In other videos, we'll talk about other models like seller flex, vendor flex, so on and so forth. Thank you.